Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's for any of my gamer buddies out there that happen to have this computer here, the Atari 800, and I think this also might work for the 400. I think that site was saying, or either that or another site where I found it but not as good a pick, was saying that they both have the same pinouts. But anyways, I just tested this for the pinouts using just makeshift cable. All I did was get like the jacks out of a VCR and then hook wires up to them, and then basically the wires for the pinouts, I just folded them over and got some solder and just kind of coated them in solder and got them thick enough to where they fit in there nice and tight, and then plugged in my cables. And only got one game to test, but definitely proved this is successful. So once I get myself some more jacks, I'm going to definitely do the mod on this puppy, because I got a really sharp picture and the sound comes through great. And I only did one speaker on the sound, just doing the way they show on the pinouts, and then I figure what I'll do is just split out the mono and put in all three jacks and just loop the audio jacks so I can hook up two speakers. But definitely worth doing. And for anybody that's not ever seen an Atari computer, this is what the 800 looks like. Typical 70s and 80s style computer, insanely huge, and this is just the main computer, man. This is all I got the deal, and pretty much the only reason I snagged this puppy is I'd never seen an Atari computer and it was $1. Main reason. And then the second reason, pull on here and it takes game cartridges just like an Atari 2600. Still don't know the left and right cartridge deal here on why they'd have two spots. I guess that had to do with computer programs, but pretty much use the left side for single programs. And pull it out here. Unfortunately, the game I got is Jumbo Jet Pilot. I must find more games. This game sucks. But since I figured out that if you press, I believe, button U on the keyboard while this game is going, you kill everybody on the plane. So got that going for me, and it also makes a crashing sound which tells me the audio works. So definitely a mod worth doing. Like I say, here's the jack I used, and this one had a little circuit board on it. Some of them don't. Just find out what goes where, rig up your composite and sound for 2 wires, and then fortunately this one, the ground goes off 1 wire for both of them, so no big deal. Only had to hook up 3 wires. Put this on control, and I'll show you where the jack is. This also proves those monitors were pretty much all the same, because I probably could have done this if I had my old Commodore. But basically looks like the same type of jack you'd have on the back of a Sega Genesis, so it'd be the same style of mod. Just run it straight off the pins from the inside once you figure out what's what. And I got to take the top off of this again. I just got done cleaning it yesterday, so I didn't want to open it up again yet, but I will, because I think this one has the pins coming out the back of it and then soldered into it. I can't remember if it's like that or if it's flat. It might have been this one I was looking at, which that is the jack for plugging in like your printer and whatever, or disk drive. Pins are exposed even better. Then you can just take the top off and just do the wire test, kind of trace out what's what, solder on your wire temporarily, hook up your jacks, and then put it back together and see if it works. But you're only working off of 5 pins, so it should be really friggin' easy. And as you can see, plenty of room to put the jacks anywhere you want on the back of it, so they're hidden out of the way, because all you got coming out of it is your standard, well, standard for back then, RF cable. Worked off a switch box for a standard TV, just like the 2600 and Intellivision and ColecoVision and stuff. And then the monitor you bought separate if you wanted to sell your other car, since this puppy went for about $1,000 back in '79 and the early '80s. That's why I never saw any, man. That tells me right there. Nobody could fucking afford it. And the little kids version of this, 400, where the keys are flat, where you just touch the panel, that puppy went for over 500 just for the computer, not counting any of the perpetuals. And I think a lot of them were like that. That's the way my Commodore 128 was. You bought this part first, and then you bought your disk drive and your printer and everything separate. You didn't get everything in one big package unless you happened to find a deal like that where the store was doing the deal. Normally you had to piece everything out. I'm going to look it up, man. I want to find out how much that Commodore 128 went for back then, just to compare on prices, because I got mine kind of in the middle 80s. I think I got mine when I was a sophomore in high school, and I graduated in 88, so old enough. And I cannot remember when the Commodore 128 came out. 64 came out probably early 80s. And that's what, if any of my friends had, that's what they had, was the little 64 or the VIC-20. VIC-20, man, that dang thing, it didn't go over very good, and I think the last time I saw it on sale back then, it was like $20, and you can get yourself a little computer. I mean, they couldn't get rid of them. And that's when all my friends started snagging it, because sucked ass as a computer for the little VIC-20, but you could play games off of it and use Atari controllers and stuff, so that kind of pushed it. This dang thing, I wish I had more games for it. I really do. I've been watching videos of my buddies here and some other people's videos of gameplay on this, and all the old school stuff like Pac-Man and Frogger and everything looks really good on this system. It's damn near arcade quality, and for $1,000, man, it sure is fucking hell better than arcade quality. 'Cause that's a lot of freaking cash to dish out. So, hope this helps anybody out. And one thing, now that you're probably confused if you're on another site on what I'm talking about here, all I can say is if you're on MySpace or another site that links to YouTube and you're not seeing anything I've written in, watch this on YouTube, because I'll leave the two links, one for the PDF manual, which I found the owner's manual in PDF form for this sucker, and they got other manuals too, and then it'll give the link to the other site. And if you got messed up eyes like me and can't stare at the computer screen doing this, I've already written this in my self-proclaimed nerd diary here, where I write down all my little mods, and I will show you guys. Or not. Invisible ink, man. Yeah. My camera sucks. Yes. Ooh. Ooh. Hold on, I'm gonna crank down the fucking brightness. This camera sucks. It just amplifies the shit out of anything white or any type of bright light. Anyways, there it is, nice and big, so you can blow it up on your computer screen. And just follow the numbers there. You're only dealing with 3 pins. Number 2, number 3, and I believe, yeah, number 4. So, no big deal on this mod, man. This be one of the easiest mods I've ever done. So, hope this helps anybody, man. It's got one of these computers, or 400 or whatever. Catch y'all later.